What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I am happy to see this article pop up. It's an editorial, and it's as you can see from the website here from Blade, discussing someone doing a piece, a small piece. I did scroll through it. I didn't read it, but I did scroll through it just to see the length of it, to see about covering it in its entirety or just kind of cherry picking and summarizing it for everybody. But I am glad to see this film pop back up again. I'm hoping that, I mean, if you've been on this channel, if you've been watching the content since we started the channel late last year, this has been one of those films I covered right from the get-go. It was one of those, I don't want to say earlier films, but it was one of the first films I really gravitated towards when I heard about it. So The Devil and the Daylong Brothers. So just a brief history. I mean, we covered this when we got the first trailer. We did a trailer review reaction back on December 16th. Then we got an exclusive clip later on, about a little over a month later, towards the end of January. And then when we finally got the film released, I did check it out. I actually purchased it via digital because I wasn't sure if we were ever going to get a physical release. I didn't rent this one. This was a complete blind buy for me, just based on trailer, the clip, and then everything I had read about it, bought it, and we did our spoiler review back on February 2nd, and I absolutely loved the film. Absolutely loved it. And as I mentioned before, if you've taken something kind of like some bits of Supernatural, some bits of the TV show called Justified, which is not horror related, but just that southern type of I don't know. It's just hard to describe the southern aspect of some of the characters from Justified, bringing them into a southern Gothic horror film that is part musical as well. That's what you get with the Devil and the Daylong Brothers. As you see here, Southern Gothic is one of this year's best movies you haven't seen. And I would agree. I think many people have not seen this film, maybe haven't even heard of this film. And in my opinion, you're missing out. But obviously, if you don't like musicals, you're not going to like this. But I would still tell you, give it a chance, because I still think it's just one of those very unique films that doesn't come along that often. And when they do, I think they are done very well, and I think this is one of those. So we're going to run through this article real quick just to see what this individual's take is on the film, and then we'll just wrap up the video. So The Devil and the Daylong Brothers snuck onto my radar last month, a musical thriller. It's likely one you've never heard of, but it's among the year's best films. Again, absolutely agree. Writer-director Brandon McCormick, who co-wrote the script with Nicholas Kirk, stages an epic cross-country search for the devil. Three brothers, Enosh, Aish, and Abe, have had their souls ripped from their bodies and sold by their father. They must now track him down, all while passionately confessing their deepest, darkest, and innermost thoughts in a song. Along their journey, they come across Frankie, Margaret Qualley's older sister. Yes, really, Rainey Qualley is who the actress's name, who supposedly knows where their father, Nehemiah, might be hiding. The film opens with the absolute barn burner till the burning's through, set in a neon-soaked bar with the trio of brothers show a violent misogynist a lesson or two. It's the perfect step for the kind of bluesy Americana songs the audience can expect throughout the film. Robinson, Bailey, and Bolden display roof-scorching vocal power that'll knock you over. Their performances are full of yearning, bathed in a monstrous growl that seeks to tear you limb from limb. With humorous, twanging accents, particularly Bradley, who often feels like a caricature, the trio emerge as vigilantes with strong moral codes. When someone's in peril, the Daylong Brothers are the first to step up and teach transgressors the error of their ways. So the other thing about this film that's not mentioned just in this first bit, it's not just them about trying to find their father. That's part of it. But they are also collecting souls, so to speak, if that's the best way to put it. So other people who have made deals with the devil and their time has expired, their time is up, like their contract is ended, and they are now collecting those souls, and then they take certain aspects from the individual. Then they meet with like this, I don't know, like middleman, so to speak, to hand over like a piece of skin or something showing that they've taken out this individual. And the purpose of them doing this is that they've been led to believe that this middleman will tell them, once they've collected a certain number of souls, that they will be told where to find their father. And they come to find out that's not the case. They're being fooled this entire time. They're being lied to. I will say, again, this is a spoiler, but the film's been out for a few months now. They do eventually find their father. But I won't say exactly what happens at the very end of the film. I will not spoil that, but they do eventually find him. So just to put that out there. So this is the trailer here. If you want to check out the trailer, I'll put the link for this article in the description of this video. Let's continue on. Hell is at hand, and ties that bind are also standouts from the soundtrack, equally electric and soul-shaking as the cast pushes the boundaries of their vocals and keeps rhythmic time with the earth-covered melodies. There's nothing anybody can do when up against Abe, Ish, and Enosh, evidenced through plenty of action-packed sequences while they're seeing no less. They go toe-to-toe with various deviants, including a pastor who's been dabbling in the devil's work. Yeah, so there's this action sequence that they're talking about. I believe it's the second one that happens, and they do come across him, and while they're having this gun battle, they break out into song as well. And while you would think some of this wouldn't work just by someone describing it to you, if you watch the film, it does work. And that's the surprising part, is again, you would think it wouldn't, because in most musicals, you're not seeing something in a musical where action like this is happening on the ground, especially in a considered to be a Southern Gothic horror film that's a musical. I think that's 4 or 5 words that you typically would not put together or hear someone say when it comes to the horror genre. The trio revel in pulverizing morally questionable characters. They suffer no fools and escape by the skin of their teeth. Their heroic journey is one of religious valor. It's a tale as old as time, set in a nondescript time period. They force the audience to reckon with their own beliefs and perhaps even light a match underneath their feet. McCormick works with cinematographer Samuel Loshmer to bring the story to life. Through crisp camera work, the world pulses around the characters when they're in motion. So is the camera, offering swivel shots that mirror a character's emotional state or action sequences that may even make audiences nauseous. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. There is various camera work where there's a few chase scenes that happen whether they're in the car or on foot, especially when they catch up with this middleman, as I've described to him. They catch up to him in this barn, and again they get into another gun battle with some locals. And while this is happening, the camera work, even when they are going after that pastor earlier on in the film, the camera work is almost as if you are on their shoulder or behind them. Or if they're jumping or diving behind a tree or diving behind a car, it's like the camera work is following them as if you are making that jump or that leap with them, right? It's not like it's just an easy, smooth transition of this camera flow. The camera jumps a little bit as if you are experiencing the same thing that they are experiencing, which I appreciate that. And it's almost as if it's immersing you into the scene itself and into the scenario. So let's go on just a little bit more down here. I don't want to read these all but line for line. This here says the Devil and Daylong Brothers feels like something that would have been made in another time. From the dialogue to the presentation, it carries a vintage feel that gives it a timeless shimmer. Even the music seems ripped from the 80s or 90s Americana scene, a sound that would comfortably sit next to Lucinda Williams, Wilco, or Steve Earle. Blend all these parts and you've got a truly special experience. So this next part is exactly what I was mentioning earlier. If you hate musicals, you might as well skip this one. But if your taste includes people singing songs randomly, you'll surely enjoy the magic here. And again, I know musicals aren't for everybody, but I do think just be open, and give this one a shot. I think there will be various aspects of this film that you will enjoy. And do I think it's by all means a absolute 100% out of 100% perfect film? No film is going to be that. But again, for what this, and as I mentioned in my review I did earlier this year, what this film is seeking to achieve and the story it's trying to tell, it does it perfectly, in my opinion. Especially, as I've already said, when you consider this is a Southern Gothic musical horror film, it hits on all those aspects, in my opinion. So this here is just a poster for the film itself. And I think that's where the article ends. Yeah. So anyways, I just want to quickly share this and just want to go through this article because, again, I was happy when I saw this headline pop up because it was one of those films I felt that many people hadn't heard about, or maybe they just saw the name or saw like the like one of the images like this one and just immediately passed it over, which I think is an absolute shame. So just want to provide just a little bit of insights on this one. I'm glad to see that others out there, especially someone on a site such as this one, did enjoy the film maybe as much as I did. So anyways, that's going to do it for this horror news update. If you haven't checked out The Devil and the Daylong Brothers, again, I would highly recommend just give it a shot. Give it at least one chance to win you over, and you might be surprised. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And if you've seen the film, I would still drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it and what you would rate it as a 5. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.